Good morning. Welcome to the Fulton County Public Safety Training Center Basic Law Enforcement Class 2203 graduation ceremony. I now present to you BLE Class 2203. Now I'd like to introduce to you the Director of the Fulton County Public Safety Training Center, Captain Greg Shelton.
Thank you. Good morning. Like you said, I'm Captain Greg Shelton. I'm the Director of the Fulton County Public Safety Training Center. On behalf of the Academy staff, Academy Advisory Board, and Fulton County Police Chief Wade Yates, my boss, I would like to welcome you to the graduation ceremony for Basic Law Enforcement Class 2203. We will begin our ceremony with the national anthem being sung by Corporal Moore of the City of South Fulton Police Department. Everyone please stand.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
To the family and friends of Class 2203, you should be especially proud of their accomplishment here today. I know I am. I have an immense respect and admiration for these recruits that are graduating here today. These men and women have decided to join law enforcement profession despite the current negative publicity and scrutiny facing law enforcement today. It takes a tremendous amount of dedication, commitment, and sacrifice to be a peace officer. This is a testament to the values and principles instilled in them by their families and friends. We also know that during these 11 weeks, life does not stop. Thank you for encouraging and supporting them through these 11 weeks and for raising men and women of such fine moral character. Class 2203, give your family and friends a round of applause for their support. To the graduating class. 11 weeks ago, y'all were all thrown into the class together just like the other classes before you. You had your challenges. You've lost a few people along the way. But those of you who are sitting here today made it to the beginning of your training. I say beginning because the real training starts when you leave here and enter field training. What you've done up to this point is you've prepared your body, mind to handle what comes next. Your next step of training is going to be on the streets in an uncontrolled environment, working with real equipment, real witnesses, and real bad guys. Today you have achieved a basic level of training. Continue to develop your skills as a peace officer by always seeking out new training. Never get into the mindset that you've had enough. There's no such thing as having enough training. I know in my 25 plus years of policing, training methods in some areas have changed a half a dozen times, and in some areas more than that. No matter what area you plan to specialize in, be it CID, maybe you have a drug unit, a traffic unit, SWAT, or if you want to spend your career on patrol, master that area. Do it for your department so that you may better serve the people of your jurisdiction, but more importantly, do it for yourself so that you may be safer and more confident. From this day forward, you will now share a special bond with every other law enforcement officer you encounter. Today you become protectors of the peace and protectors of your fellow man and woman. It's no coincidence that one of my favorite quotes is printed on the walls of the warrior room. Everybody wants to be a lion until it comes time to do what lions do. Isaiah 6:8 tells us, "Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send? Who will go for us? And I said, Here I am, send me." My best wishes to you, Class 2203. At this time, I'm going to introduce our guest speaker for today's ceremony. Retired Atlanta Police Chief Rodney Bryant was appointed May of 2021. June 2020, Chief Rodney Bryant took the helm as interim Chief of Police during a difficult time in the life of law enforcement while protests were taking place in the city of Atlanta and other metropolitan cities. Bryant remained steadfast in maintaining law, promoting peace, and encouraging the officers who serve and protect the great city of Atlanta. Since his appointment, he's focused on reducing violent crimes, taking guns off the street, bridging the gap between police and community. He is committed to advancing APD's progress as it relates to reform, training, building trust in diverse communities that are the fabric of the city of Atlanta. Additionally, he believes APD must be a community-focused law enforcement agency that practices an equal treatment and respect for all people, while ensuring that the public safety of all Atlanteans is embraced. He also believes that the Atlanta Police Department must proactively meet the complex demands of a diverse, progressive urban city throughout the implementation of continual training. Chief Bryant holds a Bachelor's of Arts degree in Criminal Justice from Georgia State University and a Master's degree of Administration from Central Michigan University. Additionally, he is a graduate of the Federal Bureau of Investigation National Executive Institute. He serves as the second vice president of the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives. And he is an active member in the International Association of Chiefs of Police, Major Cities Chief Association, Georgia Association of Chiefs of Police, and Atlanta Atlanta Urban Area Security Initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the podium our guest speaker for today, Chief Rodney Bryant.
Good morning. And let me be the first to thank the graduating class on joining the ranks of law enforcement. You're joining a very unique fraternity, men and women. I think the parable of being a lion is so fitting of what we do. And so you're joining the ranks of over 18,000 police departments in our country, over 800,000 law enforcement individuals. And so you're joining a very unique fraternity. And so you're to be applauded for even taking the steps that you have. I joined the police department. This is so unique. I was sitting here, and I wasn't going to say this, but I was sitting here having a conversation with the sheriff. And it's interesting that the captain and he and I already had this conversation, said that he's been in law enforcement 25 plus years, and uniquely enough, I supervised his dad. So I don't know how the math works, because I'm clearly not that old. But this profession has been, it's a very honorable profession that you all are joining, a very noble profession that you all are joining. It is so much to be said about what you're about to embark upon. So often throughout the days you are here, you're joining a very cynical profession as well. A lot of times you'll hear people talk about how society doesn't appreciate police officers and how bad things are, and I'm here to tell you that is very much to the contrary. Look at this room. Your family members are part of the society that you will be policing. This is a very thankful job. You'll hear people say that this is a thankless job. There's not many places I go that I am not thankful. It is very difficult for me to go into a restaurant and pay for my food. Ethically, I do pay for it, but just letting you know that it's not unusual for me to go into a restaurant and I go to the counter and they're saying, your bill has already been paid, or someone walking up and saying, thank you for your service. So when you hear that it's a thankless job, it's not true. You may not hear it, but people, I can assure you that your commanders, your other supervisors, people throughout your profession are hearing that people are thanking us for what we do. What it is, in the area that you all are coming upon, it is an unforgiving profession. You see, there used to be a time that police officers could make mistakes, but as right now, we cannot. We are looked upon that when you make a mistake, it will be scrutinized. And the only way to get past that scrutiny is to rely on the training that you all receive. You see, one thing about this training that we give in the state of Georgia and what you receive here is that you receive one of the best trainers throughout the nation. And when you are challenged about what went wrong, what went right on any incident, if you can rely upon your training, then you know that you've done the right thing. And so you've heard me use the term noble a couple of times, and I'm not talking about the organization, I'm talking about this profession as a whole. This is a very noble profession. But you have to break that word down and understand what is noble. And by definition, you're generally not supposed to use the word and define the word with the word. But I'm going to break this down a little bit different. So when you look at the word and you identify with nobility what noble is, this profession that you are coming upon. It's because of, nobility is a hierarchy of preference, or ancestry. And that is because of the people who have come before you. The people who have police and law enforcement before you, what they have strived to do. Now, the reality is law enforcement has not always been on the right side of right in certain neighborhoods. You will understand that when you get out there, that sometimes we've not gotten this thing right. And you have to be respectful of that. Be respectful of the communities that you serve. But understand you come from nobility. And so it's incumbent upon you to hold that up, because you are laying the groundwork for the next generations to come behind you as it relates to that level of nobility. Then take a look at the word, the oath, obedient. Be obedient to the oath that you will take. It's your responsibility, because once you get out into the world, once you get out into this profession, one of the reasons that I got into law enforcement is the level of freedom that it provided in helping other people. But once you're out there, what allows you to tether out there on your own is your oath that you're taking. And you have to be obedient to that oath. But the communities that you're serving may be different from the community that you came from. So you have to be very open-minded, recognizing that because it's not the way that you would have done it, maybe you don't understand it that way, that the community that you're serving recognize it a little differently. The B, bravery. People are expecting you to be brave. And it goes beyond just being brave of running into a school and taking down a shooter. It goes beyond being brave reaching into a burning car and pulling someone out. It goes beyond running into a burning building or saving a child. Your bravery will come when you have to be looking out for your fellow officer, when you have to speak up against that person. Most recently, in the city of Atlanta, we implemented in our policy a duty to intervene. Now, intervening has always been a part of the construct of law enforcement. We've always had to intervene in each other's lives. But now we've had to put it in policy that you have to intervene. And bravery comes when you are intervening in that person's life. Bravery comes when you're seeing your fellow officer doing something that they typically or should not be doing, and you have to speak up. Bravery is coming up with an idea and not having any issues taking it to your cheek, not taking it to your shirt. That's bravery, speaking up when everyone else is not. The L, the legitimacy of what you're doing. By nature of being in law enforcement and swearing and taking your oath and being badged, that makes you legitimate. But the reality is your legitimacy comes from the community that you serve. See, people won't recognize you as a police officer just because you're wearing that uniform. They'll recognize you as being a police officer on how you treat them. You have to treat people right. That's where your legitimacy come in, because quite often you're going to interact with people multiple times. There are times that you will interact with an individual just one time in their life, and that person will remember you forever. But it's those people that you encounter day in and day out is where your true legitimacy of what you do, of what this profession is about, will exist. And then E, be emboldened. Be emboldened in the authority that you have. People are relying upon you. They need you to help them. People are calling upon law enforcement in their greatest time of need. Weirdly enough, they don't call us out, they invite us to the parties, the birthday parties. They call us when they need us the most. And at that point, you have to act. People are looking for you to act. So as I stated, you join a very noble profession, one to be proud of. Everyone cannot do it. Everyone will not do it. I am so proud of people who take this leap into this profession. You should be proud. Your families should be proud. Because this is a very unique profession. Families, men and women that you have before you, your family members that are embarking upon this profession, will need you now more than ever. They're gonna need your support. They're gonna need your prayers. They're gonna need your voice. They're gonna need you to walk with them. They're gonna need you to talk. They're gonna need you to talk to them. They're gonna need you more than any time before in their lives because they're doing something different. The captain was absolutely right that it is a very challenging time for law enforcement. But this time is your time. You are here, the uniqueness of what you're about to embark upon is you're going out and you're being tied with officers who've been out 5 years, 6 years, and they'll tell you, they'll become cynical and they'll tell you how bad things are. Weirdly enough, that police officer is still sitting right there. They didn't leave, but they're sitting there and telling you how bad things are. And I'm here to tell you things are not as bad as they may make it to be. If it was, they wouldn't be here. What happens in our profession is police officers tend to allow time to slip past them. We are slow to react. One of the things in technology, one of the things that I've talked about in other platforms is police officers are late to technology and late to advancement. We operate from a space of policies and procedures and standards, and we stand on that. The problem is society doesn't. Society moves much rapidly, much quicker than we do. But you are coming upon a time that is good for you, that's beneficial to you. You're absolutely there. The officers that will tell you things have changed, it has. What we could have done back when half of these chiefs and commanders, we could get into a car chase and run until the wheels fell off of them. Today, that's not proven. It probably wasn't proven then, but we did it. But that's not your time. You're coming into a time that you will think differently, respond differently, handle things differently, and in probably a much better way. You're coming into a time where it requires you to be a part of the community. We came from a generation where we policed the community. And through that process, we realized that that was the improper way of doing things. But you're coming upon it to make it better, not for just me, but for your family members and the communities that you serve. Folks, thank you so much. I am so honored to have the opportunity to speak to you today. I'm so proud to see people still embarking upon this noble profession that I love, that have got me 34 plus years, that allowed my mother to rest at night, or when I go to certain communities and they say thank you for your service, because we don't know what we would have done without you, and that we're still bringing people into this profession. So folks, thank you so much for what you have done. Families, thank you so much for loaning these people to us so that they can protect us and make things better for us throughout our days and our nights. Congratulations and thank you.
We have a small token of appreciation to present to our guest speaker. It reads, "An appreciation to retired Chief Rodney N. Brandt, Atlanta Police Department, for your dedication and support of the Fulton County Public Safety Training Center." This is the part where I introduce the class coordinator. I get kind of made fun of for my predictable speech in this particular area, but I don't care. Because again, I'm going to say it like I always say it, this is a very special position to me because it's a position that I held when I first come out here. To be a mandate coordinator is, no one is going to believe you if you try to tell them how much work and how much dedication it involves until they, do it themselves. Because it's a labor of love. It's something that it's your chance to take a bunch of individuals and try and within limits and SOP, kind of tweak them the way you like to see your class behave. Very demanding position. You're married to a class for 11 weeks straight. A lot of responsibility. And it takes a lot of work to just do the position, but even more work to do the position very, very well. I'm very proud of every one of my staff here at the Fulton County Training Center and my coordinators for the tremendous job they do in bringing along these law enforcement cadets that you see here today. The one that we're going to talk about a little bit right this second is 2203's coordinator, very special individual to me because I policed with his dad, and I'm going to be aging myself a little bit. I policed with his dad for a number of years, and then I had the opportunity to have him come through, and I was coordinator of his mandate class. He was my class sergeant, and I was very pleased to see him kind of come full circle. He had success with the marshal's office and become an instructor. I evaluated during his instructor class, so I've had something to do with him every stretch of the way. So I take a lot of credit for how good he is. That's all on me. So I don't mind saying it at all. The class coordinator for class 2203 is Sergeant Dustin Rutledge.
I want to start out by thanking Marshal McKee and the Fulton County Marshal's Department for allowing me the opportunity to be a training coordinator at the Fulton County Public Safety Training Center. I would also like to thank all the agencies for your continued support of this academy and providing great instructors which help us provide the best training possible for our cadets. Over the course of their training, we had over 40 instructors come in and share their expertise with this class, which played a vital role in the cadets' success throughout this academy. Next, I would like to thank the friends and family for your support of these cadets over the past 11 weeks. I understand the sacrifices and the support it takes to not only get through this academy, but also be the spouse, family member, or close friend of a law enforcement officer. I urge you to continue the support of these officers throughout their career because it helps us officers when we have a good support system. You see, the men and women that are about to walk across this stage have chosen one of the most difficult careers imaginable. These officers are going to wake up every morning, throw on their vest, holster a firearm, in preparation for running towards evil and putting their lives on the line for people they don't even know. These men and women will be expected to be counselors, mediators, medics, psychologists, and even heroes, sometimes all in the same shift. Usually when I tell people what I do for a living, people tell me I don't understand how you do it, especially in this climate. This career isn't for everybody. It takes a special kind of person. It's more than a job, it's a calling. And if you've never been called, it's hard to understand what drives us to be law enforcement officers. So friends and family, continue your support of your officers and be proud of them for answering the call. Now to class 2203. On March 28th, you walked into this academy at 0700, not knowing what to expect for the next 11 weeks. Some of you were filled with anxiety and uncertainty, others with enthusiasm and confidence. We challenged you both physically and mentally, and I told you day one that if you made it to graduation day, you'd be able to look yourself in the mirror and say, I earned it. And that's exactly what y'all just did. Y'all earned it. When I look at you as a class, you couldn't come up with a better motto. The last part of your class motto describes this class perfectly. Who are we? Family. You all argued, y'all teased, y'all fought, and honestly, you were downright dysfunctional at times. But what family is it? But also, y'all had each other's backs, you pushed each other, supported each other when you needed it the most, and that's what family does. Today, your family grows from 19 cadets of this class to more than 800,000 law enforcement officers who proudly serve the communities. It's an honor to be the first to welcome you to the law enforcement community. As you leave the academy today and begin your journey as a law enforcement officer, I want to leave you with a few pieces of advice that will help you be successful in your career. Be a leader. There's a saying on the wall in the training room of our marshal's department that reads, leadership is action, not position. Being a leader is not always about the bars on your uniform, your tenure, or being vocal. It's about leading by example. You can be a leader the first time you walk into your very first roll call on your first shift. Show up to work on time every day with a positive attitude. Look good in your uniform and wear it with pride. Know and follow your department's policies and procedures. And step up to volunteer for activities and projects in the communities that you are serving. The next piece of advice is don't get complacent. I'm not talking about just being complacent while responding to calls or traffic stop. I think I've drilled that part into you. And you always know to be ready for any situation. Give me two. I'm talking about don't get complacent with your careers. Don't let the thought of failure keep you from reaching your goals. If you've never failed at anything, that tells me you haven't pushed yourself hard enough. Don't be afraid to interview for that promotion or take that challenging class. Push yourself. I expect to see you all down the road as supervisors, instructors, detectives, SWAT operators, canine handlers. Find what you're passionate about and be good at it. Last but not least, continue training. While graduating basic law enforcement is an accomplishment, remember, it's basic. As soon as you are eligible, you need to begin working towards your intermediate and advanced certifications. I promise y'all, when y'all come back to training, you will no longer have to ask for permission to pass, run everywhere on campus, or take a battle buddy with you everywhere you go. Law enforcement has changed a lot over the years, especially in the world of technology, as Chief mentioned earlier. If you stop training and your education, you'll be left behind. When my father began his law enforcement career, he was equipped with a revolver with 18 rounds, a nice pair of handcuffs, and a radio, if you were lucky. Fast forward to today, law enforcement officers have to be proficient with their semi-automatic handguns, the rifles, the OC, the Aspeton, the tasers, computers, tag readers, body cams, etc. You have to be knowledge and updated on case law so that you don't violate someone's rights. When you begin your FTO training, be humble and learn as much as you can from the veteran officers in your department. While you receive scenario-based training here at the Academy, nothing compares to the training you will receive while you're on the street. Surround yourself with successful officers in your department and learn as much as you can from them. Every week, one of my cadets, Cadet Solomon, would ask me, "Sarge, are you proud of us?" I'll say no. We'll talk on graduation day. Well, 2203, you've made it to graduation day, and I can't say that. You made it to graduation day, and I couldn't be more proud of each and every one of you. Congratulations, and thank you. Every basic law enforcement class has to select a class sergeant and a class corporal to serve as their liaison between the class and the class coordinators. BLE 2203 selected Brooke Hammond, Fulton County Sheriff's Office, as their class sergeant, and Jasmine Boylan, Fulton County Sheriff's Office, as their class corporal.
Good morning, everyone. First and furthermore, I would like to thank my class, BLE 2203, for putting me in a position to be able to stand in front of you all and to give this speech. This 11 weeks was a long and rewarding experience that has changed me for the rest of my life. I walked into a class with 27 different personalities and made it to the stage with 18 others. We went through the storm and made it to the rainbow, and I'm grateful I got to experience it with each and every one of you. We laughed, cried, we argued, but we never forgot what we created, and that was family. With that being said, I would like to individually thank every one of you. Harris, thank you for being outspoken and ready for whatever. I know for a fact I can count on you to have my back no matter what. Charles, thank you for your never-ending quick questions. Jackson, thank you for your humor even when we were getting slack. Solomon, thank you for always having an open ear and being someone to talk to. Miss Young, thank you for your positive attitude. It was needed at times. Hill, thank you for being a team player and sticking with us as a team. Neymar, thank you for keeping the class together and ready for all the tests. Dunn, thank you for keeping the class in check and making sure we all said our graceful behavior. Thank you. Stewart, we're battle buddies. Thank you so much for keeping me together throughout this academy, making sure I ate, making sure I had somebody to talk to, and definitely crying to, because y'all know I'm a baby. Fallon, I like to call you the silent one, but it was never to be mistaken as a weakness. Thank you for being such a great person. Hernandez, thank you for keeping us all on our toes during our defensive tactics week. Amos, my distant cousin. Thank you for all those morning study sessions, they all paid off. Peterson, one of the most selfless persons I have ever met in my life. I am thankful to have had you this 11 weeks. King, thank you for your never-ending happiness. You are good at turning negativity into something positive. Clark, the most popular person in the class. Thank you for your never-ending questions. They helped me learn a lot of things I would have never thought of asking. Walton, thank you for always being willing to lend a hand no matter what it was. And Ellis, thank you for keeping the class hydrated with your endless amount of Gatorade. We appreciate it. And Hammond, my other battle buddy, I laugh at how much we conquered together, especially from Ranger Week to EVOC. Thank you for being an outstanding leader and pulling us all together and establishing us as a family. You were appreciated. I would like to conclude this speech with reminding us all to never forget that the little thing matters, in the words of Sergeant Rutledge. Don't ever get complacent. And Deputy Miller, thank you for keeping us on our toes with your 2 class. It was definitely appreciated. And last but not least, to my family, thank you for keeping me together throughout this process. I would not be standing here without y'all's support. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for all coming out to see this moment. Please give a round of applause for these great ladies and gentlemen. Over the last 11 weeks, we've been through some of the most challenging times. However, we made it out together as more than just a class, but as a family. To my family, thank you so much for everything you've done for me, support and encouragement each and every day. My wife, Shonda, love you. My son, Julian, I love you. Mom, I seen you back there, so I love you too. And everybody else that came out to say thank you, all my friends, family, and loved ones. For everybody in the agency who has guided me and got me to this point, it paid off because this class, this family right here, seen what y'all did for me, and I was able to put that back into me. I appreciate y'all. Sergeant Rutledge, from day one, you lined us up. Let us know we need to get together because we're ready for a week. We had to go out and do one push-up, and that push-up took a very, very long time. You were hard on us, and we often deserved it. However, it just made us that much better. Sorry, you always kept it real with us and never let it get us too far ahead of ourselves. We've had our fair share of up and down moments, yet you will always say tomorrow is a new day. You always gave us useful advice based on personal and observed experiences. And that is something to be appreciated by us more than you know. Thank you for active engagement. Each class. The knowledge is much, much more. Deputy Miller, I know it's been incredibly busy over these last few weeks. When you did come around, you always had some tips or something great to say the light not moving. I promise you, every time you came in, we all in there arguing and stuff. Deputy Miller come in and be like, hey, give me some. Like, all right. But no matter what, you always make time to come check on us, and I appreciate that. And we thank you for that, Deputy Miller. Keep doing what you do. BLE 22. Today is the first day of our rest of our lives. I want y'all to understand that. Today is the first day of the rest of our new lives. No longer will we be able to live our lives like we have before, nor look at the world like we have before. I encourage you all to continue to fight for justice and peace despite what people may say and feel about what we do as law enforcement officers. But that's what we're here for. This is what we do. Believe in yourself and never let self-doubt overcome you. If you run into a wall with no door, simply make your own. Be willing to walk the path that doesn't exist and learn what it takes to be great and go that extra mile to be better than that. I am proud to be your class sergeant, and thank you for allowing me this opportunity. I promised y'all on day one that I would lead y'all to our end goal, and look at us now. I would say mission accomplished. It's an honor to share this moment with all of you. Thank you. Love, Anna.
I'm now going to present leadership awards to the class sergeant and class corporal. Class Corporal Boylan, Leadership Award presented to Class Corporal Chadlin Boylan. Thank you for your leadership shown to Basic Mandate Class 2203. Class Sergeant Hammond, thank you for your leadership shown to Basic Mandate Class 2203. Thank you, sir. I'm now going to ask that Captain Sheldon step back up. On behalf of Class 2203 and as a token of our appreciation, we'd like to present you with our class flag. Thank you. Now we're going to have the presentation of special awards. Over the course of 11 weeks, the cadets had the opportunity to win one of 3 special awards: top driver, top shooter, and top academic. The top driver award goes to the student that has the fastest driving time on the precision cone course and passes the braking and skid control courses on the first attempt. The top driver award goes to Jeremy Fallon.
That's my baby.
Top shooter. Firearms Week is generally one of the most stressful weeks for the cadets. In order to pass, the cadets must shoot 2 qualifying scores of 240 out of 300, which is 80%, with only 6 test attempts. Students that earned a 270 or higher, which is 90% during range qualification, were allowed to shoot in the trophy round. Will the students that participated in the trophy round please stand? May I take a seat? They've been asking me for 5 weeks if I would leak the winner of this, and I haven't. The student with the highest score in the trophy round is the top shooter. This award goes to De'Aaron King. Fulton County Sheriff's Office. Not on the top academic. Over the course of 11 weeks, the students took 15 written exams. The student with the highest average wins top academic award. This award goes to Rayshawn Clark. Fulton County Sheriff's Office. At this time, we will present the certificates. If I can have all agency heads and representatives come to the stage at this time. The If you'd like to take a picture, please come to my stage left. The cadets will be exiting on my left.
Yeah, all y'all know what's about to win. I ain't had this many people in the class in forever. Congratulations. Yeah, this is fantastic.
First rank, attention. Left face.
Ocean Young, Union City Police Department. Nia Solomon, Fulton County Sheriff's Office. Nicholas Jackson, Forest Park Police Department.
Left face.
Lucretia Charles, Fulton County Sheriff's Office. Venasia Harris, Clayton County Sheriff's Office. Jeremy Fallon, Clayton County Sheriff's Office. Joycelyn Stewart, Marta Police Department. Secoria Dunn, Marta Police Department. Courtney Namar, Fulton County Sheriff's Office. Victoria Hill, Fulton County Police Department. Rayshawn Clark, Fulton County Sheriff's Office.
Second right face.
De'Aaron King, Fulton County Sheriff's Office.
Left face.
Rachel Peterson, Fulton County Sheriff's Office. Shatima Amos, College Park Police Department. Carlos Villalba Hernandez, Fulton County Sheriff's Office. Claude Ellis V, Rockdale County Sheriff's Office. Dwight Walton, Fulton County Sheriff's Office. Jasmine Boylan, Fulton County Sheriff's Office. Brooke Hammond, Fulton County Sheriff's Office. As we like to say in class 2203, last one. Last one! Class sergeant, one more time.